Hey guys, you're about to listen to our show Records and Rants, a weekly show where Dixon and I discuss or review an album, song, or other music-related subject, and then at the end we let off some steam and rant about a random topic of the week. Make sure to subscribe and leave a like below if you enjoy, and leave a comment if you have an album or topic you want us to discuss in the next episode. New uploads every week. Yo, what is up everyone, and welcome to Records and Rants, and a big, warm welcome to our dear president, Joseph Biden. Big things happened today. We're going to talk about that later. And also the Dylan LeBlanc album, Renegade. And here with me, as always, is Dixon. How are you?
Oh my gosh! What an absolute sellout.
I came right out, and I said it.
An absolute dirty sellout. I can't get over this. Unbelievable. That's your buying price, $10,000. I could just pay you off for $10,000.
I'm just saying it was helpful. It was helpful. If you guys couldn't guess already what we're going to talk about, what we're going to rant about later, trademark rant, is the sweeping, shocking revelation that Joseph Biden himself is going to immediately erase $10,000. That's $10,000 with a T from everyone's student loan debt, and we know it's everyone. It's pretty much everyone. Everyone who's a millennial has student loan debt. Most people, those who don't come from a privileged position. And today, Joseph Biden just wiped it out. He just said, "I'm doing it." We don't know the specifics of how he's doing that. It's still unclear. But
I love how he's doing this. No one else.
Yeah, no, it's strictly just him. Oh boy, so
I love it.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was excited to hear the news today.
No, it's definitely good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I mean we'll definitely get into that. We'll certainly get into it. But yeah, so I guess I had a pretty decent day. How was your day, Dixon?
So far, so good. Trying to make it happen, trying to make everything, bring it all together, if you will. And now we're here in the lab.
Yeah, in the
making
lab.
It happen.
Every single week in the lab, bringing you weekly shows, nonstop, never stops.
By the way, shout out to our 11th subscriber.
Yeah,
appreciate you. Much love. Yeah,
much love. Thank you for everyone who subscribed and also listens to this podcast. I know we had a big upswing in the Elvis stuff, so we appreciate that. We thank you. That was nice. It was good engagement, and hopefully we could keep it happening.
More good stuff on the way.
Yes, as always, definitely. And comment down below what you want to hear on the show. If you want us to listen to a certain album, talk about a certain music thing, or rant about something, just let us know. Just comment down below. Comment anything, actually. Just say something. If you're here and you listen to this part, just comment below and just say you heard this part. That's that'll be enough for us.
Absolutely. Stop by, say hi, move on.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Takes 2 seconds.
We're not asking much.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy.
So I guess you could say that since this announcement came out, you've been a little renegade.
Wow.
A little on the renegade side.
Yeah, I guess you can say, and because of that, because I've been feeling so renegade, I listened to Dylan LeBlanc's album.
Man, you were
titled
Renegade. This is awesome.
Yeah, that renegade fashion. That music that he brings, it cut right to my soul, and it really hit deep. It's very soulful music, I would say. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, there's a lot of feeling behind it. There's a lot of layers to it. And I think I was telling you previously, Dylan LeBlanc previously had a very stripped down, very much acoustic, very much folk sound.
Yes.
Prior to working with Dave Cobb, and Dave Cobb kind of really fine-tuned stuff. Brought him into his own. He brought his own session band with him. He didn't use Cobb's musicians, so Cobb had to start completely from scratch with these guys. And all the songs have a lot of meaning to Dylan LeBlanc. He talks about his sobriety. He was in jail. He was kind of doing his thing, and kind of put it all together. I really like it. It's one of my favorites. One of the albums I can listen to a lot.
Yeah, no, I could totally see that. And I really like LeBlanc's voice that he brings to this. It kind of fits like
Yes.
all the songs that he's singing and like the instrumentals behind it, I guess you could say. It all
Absolutely.
yeah, it all like really meshes together. I wrote something down here, and this is quite a dig, but I said I said Dylan LeBlanc is what would happen if the National had talent. That's
Oh my god, it's pretty. That's actually it's funny because there's some parallels between this music and that music.
I felt like there was. I felt like this, and you know, despite this being like I don't even want to say dreary because it's not really dreary.
Yeah.
It's more like it's more. I don't even want to say soulful. It's just coming from like a point of like I don't know, just not even despair. I'm struggling to find the words for it, but
No, exactly what you mean.
it's like
Yes.
melancholy almost. But at the same time, it's still it still hits you with like a lot of meaning and a lot of like soulfulness behind it. And I think that's what I liked about it. It wasn't just like dark, depressing. And I think all the instrumentals and his vocals combined together with that made it not a terrible listen.
Wow, that's a good to hear that it's not a terrible listen.
Yeah, not
No,
like the National, not like the National.
It's so funny because these would be the National album, Trouble Will Find Me, and this album and a few others would be on a shelf of albums I could revisit and not get tired of.
Really? Now, why?
Yeah.
Why is that? See, okay, here's how it is for me. The reason that I wouldn't revisit albums like the National, Trouble Will Find Me, is because it puts me in like a bad like mood, I guess. Like I said, like the melancholy aspect, and like the National, Trouble Will Find Me had that like in spades. I felt like depressed listening to it, and like the instrumentals didn't do anything for me. This I could see myself re-listening to, but just because of it didn't make me feel sad. I was just kind of listening to this guy thinking like, oh, you know, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot behind
Right.
everything in all these songs. And you know, some of the songs might have sounded like slightly similar, but I think you get that. I think you get that when you're having like acoustics in it. Like when it's just like a stripped down acoustic song, I think an artist might have a tendency to sound similar, but at the same time the songs they'll have their own kind of label to them.
Yeah, it's kind of works as a cohesive element. It works
Yeah.
together, but they're all unique. And no, I understand where you're coming from. That puts you, but I could see this album being on your rotation if you ever put the chill hop down on like your Sunday morning breakfast.
Oh yeah.
Your Sunday 1 p.m. breakfast making.
No, yeah, wake up from a drunken stupor and I slug downstairs and I just throw this on. Yeah, no, absolutely, I could totally see that. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, I'd really like, I'd love to listen to this in like a small town bar, like kind of in the country, and this guy's just like playing, and there's like a few people in there, and it's kind of like dimly lit. I would have a blast if this was playing live in front of me in that environment.
No, I'm with you. It's definitely a good vibe. My favorite track on that album, and I like them all. I'm not a big fan of Bang Bang Bang. Just kind of like whatever. I think to me it's kind of a filler song. To me, my favorite track on that album is Honor Among Thieves.
Yes, that's my favorite too. I love that
Oh, I'm
song.
glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad, yeah.
that was really good. Yeah, that's one that I added to my, you know, the old rotation. But I love
Really? Wow, that's big.
I love the kind of orchestral mini suite that he brought in with it, like the violins playing and things like that. I like that a lot.
Definitely, yeah.
That really adds a lot to the song.
Absolutely, 100% agree. I think it's one of my favorite songs of all time. So give us a rating out of Ice Cubes.
Okay. Now I forget
here we go.
I forget what the limit is, because I think I originally said 5. So like 1 is very bad, 2
Okay.
is mediocre, 3 is average, 4
Okay.
is good, and then 5 is like top of all time.
Okay.
I feel like that really like limits me. Let's do 0.5s.
Nice.
Let's do 0.5s. Let's say, you know what? Fuck it. We're erasing the whole thing. We're doing it out of 10. Okay.
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
10. 10 is good. I would give it. Now, this is my personal opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we want to hear.
And it only drops because of the melancholy aspect, and I but at the same time, it made me feel good listening to it. I'm in a weird spot, Dixon. I'm gonna say, oh man, I'm gonna say 6.5.
6.5. That seems kind of low.
No, no. Here's the thing. Five is average. Five is you can't think about it like percentages, like you're grading it like a test or something. You look at 5, that's average. That's like, okay, this is an average album. Like I'll put it on.
Okay.
So 6 is above average, technically above average, but I give it the I get it. Do you understand? You understand what I'm trying to say?
What would possibly get a 10 out of all this?
See, this is the I'm holding
Daft Punk.
I need an album that literally brings me to tears. That's what I need. I need an album that makes me feel so much that I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, well, it's a 10. Well, if it's a 10, it has to earn that.
So what would you say that? Well, maybe I'm too free with my ratings. Then what would you say Dark Side of the Moon is rated?
Dark Side of the Moon, I would say it's a 7.
Oh my god. Okay, well if we're doing that as a 7, all right. Then what could possibly be like Daft Punk? What is your favorite album? Daft Punk, Dreams and Nightmares. What is it?
Oh my god. I'm drawing a blank now. Oh my god.
Superhuman something.
Not random access memories. That's
yeah, that's it, isn't it? Isn't it?
Is it? No, I think because I think that's their newer one. Hold on, I got to look up their discography really quick. I'm embarrassed that I don't know this. No, so yes, Random Access Memories is their newest, one of their newest ones, but Discovery.
What would you rate that?
See, for me, oh man, this is gonna seem ridiculous because I enjoy that album so much. That album means a lot to me in the fact that it got me into this whole like music production. And from my aspect, I'd have to rate that an 8.
Interesting. Okay, so this rating system is purely subjective. Like you don't gain points on, well, this really sucked, but I like this, or I appreciate the production of it, or I like that it was like 13 tracks as opposed to 20 or something. So just your opinion is just, I guess that's true, but your rating system is purely subjective.
Yeah, unfortunately, and like I understand that could be flawed.
It's unfortunate. I get it.
I mean, it is. I understand it's flawed in that way, but yeah, I guess it's a conglomeration of all those things. It's how it made me feel, how I enjoy the instrumentals, what it means to me, the emotion it elicited, and the talent behind the artists and the producers behind it. I guess it all kind of comes together, but I feel like the little bias that might sway it like 1 point up or down in either direction.
Mm-hmm. I follow that. Okay, yeah. I'm okay with that.
So
good.
What would you give it then? What would you say?
I think my rating system was out of 13.
Yeah, it was something really bizarre kind of.
Well, see, I figured I have to cover some bases, and I want to sort of be objective about this whole thing.
Okay.
And,
okay.
I'm not like for example, I like the Rolling Stones. I do. I'm not a huge Rolling Stones fan, but I rank them as the greatest band of all time on objective data. The most tours, the most albums, the most longevity.
Yeah.
You go one night, you know every song. You go the next night, you know every song. It's just how it is. The impact, everything else. So I would think that for me, I mean, this is on a shelf of I listen to everything I possibly can, but for me to put this on a shelf of albums I would really listen to all the time, I think it would be probably a 10.
Wow. Okay.
And a 9 to 10 out of 13.
10, okay. All right. That's really respectable, and I get where you're coming from, and I could totally understand why this would be on someone's shelf of albums they always listen to. I get it.
Good. I'm glad to hear that you understand that. It's one of my. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but I listened to it after when I told you to listen to it. I'm like, yeah, I can get into this.
Yeah, no, it is really good. You have such a diverse discography of music that you listen to. It's pretty impressive, I have to say.
Well, thanks. I try to keep everything in rotation. I try to hear stuff and then kind of go from there. So I want to expose you, a major exposure.
I'm exposed. Trust me, fully, full exposure.
anything I could possibly expose you to. And then we go from there.
No, I love that we're doing this though, because I get to listen to music, because like, you know how I am. I got that neurodivergency where I pick like 5 songs and I listen to them over and over, and that's it.
Yeah, I get into that groove
Yeah.
too a lot. But there's like things that I like to revisit, and this is kind of one of them.
Yeah, no, this is a good one. I got to start revisiting albums too. Like we all know I used to listen to DMB like nonstop, and then
Yeah.
I just dropped it like a bad habit, and I don't go back to it. I don't know. That's kind of weird. I will say Daft Punk is one that I always go back to though.
What a shame. They only have like 4 albums, don't they?
Yeah, no, they have actually. With what I'm looking at here, I mean, if you count the Tron Legacy.
Tron, what
Yeah,
trash.
yeah. And then they have their live album, Alive 2007, Daft Club, Deep Cuts. They have a small handful, I would say.
Okay, and DMB has like what 67 albums, 13 live albums, greatest hits.
Yeah, they're pretty ridiculous, and I was kind of getting sick of myself because I realized that I knew the live album based on like the first like 10 seconds of the song. I'm like, oh, this is from Red Rock 1999. Like I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, Ice, you got to get over yourself.
Yeah, no, definitely. But that's easy to do when you're into the sound so often. You know, that's how they are with the Grateful Dead and stuff. Like you pick up the area and who's playing the keyboard, and you go from there.
Oh my God! I'll tell you one thing. I know one of our boys. I'm sure you know he's very into listening to that. Grateful Dead, the kind of jam bands and stuff. And
Right.
I tell you what, being in a car with him for a long time, and that's all that's playing, is it's kind of taxing on the mind.
No, I'm
wait, this is the no. This is like we're listening to another 30-minute long jam solo in this one single song. It's like, does it end? I'll never forget. I'll never forget when you popped that though. That you're like, I'm gonna. Yeah, that was great.
What was I forget what that was. It was I forget what was it I said. Oh, it was a female wearing a Grateful Dead shirt, right?
Yeah, and you were like, yo.
Did I say yeah? Did I say what? I really like that one song they have. Is that what I told her?
Yeah, you're like, I really like that one song that's like 20 minutes long.
Yeah, I really like that one song 20 minutes long. It's funny because I've always appreciated the Grateful Dead. Now, not consistently, but it's like they come out, they play. You can play 3 songs. It's the whole show. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And like, I do enjoy like the live jams and stuff. But like to sit there and listen to that, I'll put it this way: if I'm not listening to it live at a concert and like having fun, then listening to that in a car, well, we all know what that means. All right. That's part of the culture. That's part of the culture of that whole scene. You know what I mean? But I can't listen to that just sitting in my house. Maybe as background music if I'm feeling up to it. But I can't bring myself to sit in a car and listen to it.
Yeah, it's that's become my Sunday morning. My breakfast playlist has mostly been lately Jimmy Buffett, like the radio channel he has on Sirius, believe it or not, and the Grateful Dead. But a lot of new live Dead and Company stuff. The Dead and Company stuff is really, really spot on with John Mayer. Sounds really good.
John Mayer's involved in this.
Yeah, John Mayer has been touring with them for a few years now. They're touring as Dead and Company.
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually. I mean, John Mayer is a fantastic musician. He really is. He's a great guitarist for sure.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate it. I saw him live the one time. He was good.
I'll have to get to one of those shows one of these days.
Dead and Company is the tickets are, from what I understand, literally impossible. I tried one time and I couldn't even get them.
Oh, seriously? Like you got them on the drop and they were like gone immediately?
Yeah, I got them on the drop, but then again, how that Ticketmaster, everything is they gouge and they steal and pillage and just it's big thing.
They're freaking ridiculous with those prices. I can't stand it. It's like, these are like $50, and then by the time you get to the checkout, it's like $100.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, but easily.
Yeah, really ticks me off.
So I have a request for next show. I want to review an album for the show.
You want to review an album?
Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna request it. I'm gonna give myself a recommendation review.
Okay.
And I want to talk about it.
Okay. What is it? What is it?
Jack Johnson, Meet the Moonlight, his new album, the first time in a while.
What? He has a new album.
Yes, and I wanted to talk about this because I like kind of like with your DMD phase, I was heavy into the rotation of Jack Johnson for whatever reason.
Yeah, no, I was too during that time.
Yeah, right. And then I dropped it completely. Like I dropped it, and then I'm like, what? And for whatever reason, I'm looking like, what the hell happened to Jack Johnson? Here we are listening to Radio Margaritaville the one night, and a new single comes out from Jack Johnson. I'm like, oh my god, I totally forgot he even existed.
Wow.
So I revisited Jack Johnson because I have most of his catalog on my iPod.
Of course.
And I'm like, okay, I can get into this again. And then so I listened to his new album. I bought his new album, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want to talk about the a couple things. Number one, how you're into an artist and you drop them. Number two, Jack Johnson matured? ? Number three, I can see what the feedback is going to be on this album.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm super intrigued right now. I'm probably gonna start listening to this like right after the show, honestly, because
it's short. It's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these songs. There's 10 of them, and they're all like 3 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a short album, so it was good. I mean, I'm glad I listened to it when I did because I was stranded in a big city in an airport, and
you're a jet setter.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
very, very less glamorous than it sounds. But I'm like, all right, this is everything's okay then. Now that I'm listening to this for a minute.
Nice. Well, that's good. I honestly can't wait to talk about this the next show. And this will be what am I trying to say? It's time sensitive, I guess you could say, because it seems like it just came out. Yeah,
it did. Yeah, and then another sneak preview down the road. Get ready, everybody.
Oh boy,
deep dive dissection. Maybe several parts of the life and career and the times of Bob Dylan.
Oh my god, I love this, and oh my god, I'm actually really excited because like I love when we do these things that like way more about the subject than I do, and I just come in and I'm like I give you my kind of blind review.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's what I like too. Yeah.
So maybe I'll listen to his music and then we could go talk about it and you could
don't tell me this because you know what I have to if I would craft a playlist for you.
Oh boy,
days long. We have to discuss this BTS.
Yeah. Sorry guys.
We're gonna put this on the radar though.
Wait, what'd you say?
No, I said I just want to put this on your radar because set your DVRs. Groundbreaking event.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. Bob
Dylan in studio.
Oh, does he have like a certain voice? Could I like imitate him or something? Is he just kind of normal?
No, he has a pretty gravelly voice now, but his voice has evolved. His singing voice has evolved throughout his entire career.
That's pretty cool. I kind of like when that happens with artists and they just kind of go with it. They're able to make it happen.
That's with you and Brian Wilson, but you didn't appreciate that.
All right. Oh boy.
It's 6-part series. 3 hours long each part. All right, Dixon. What now?
All right. What do we get into now? This friggin' Dylan guy.
You just drop it already, for God's sake.
Oh jeez. I'm excited about that, and I'm also really excited about Meet the Moonlight. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So guys, next episode, we will. That'll be great for the first time ever. Guys, tune in next week. Joint review of the new Jack Johnson album. Great. That's great.
Sounds like a great thing. So, speaking of reviews, you are about to review your president Joe Biden's $300 billion student loan relief package. And No, first of all, number one, I'm just going
Okay,
to
okay,
ask you this question. I'm going to ask you
okay.
this question real quick.
Well, yeah,
So
let's
I
get
know
into it. Let's
you've
get
been
into it.
you've dove deep into this, and I
Yeah,
appreciate that. And I'm the kind of, and I'll tell you where I'm at right now. If they're going to give it to me, I'll take it. I'll
yeah,
absolutely take it. You're handing money to me. I'm not going to say no.
absolutely.
The flip side of this is that the question I want to ask you is why do you think my parents should pay for your
Oh
choices?
boy.
And I want to know why you hate my parents so
Oh my
much
god.
that you think they should pay for your choices. No, I really don't have that strong of feelings. But just
No, no,
it seems backward, Ice.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're
Yeah,
saying. But I think,
right.
okay,
Go for
my
it.
my first thought on this is I will absolutely take the money. I have kind of a nuanced look on this. I will absolutely take the money as well. However,
Right.
I'm not saying that it's good policy,
Okay.
but I will take the money. And does something like this need to be done? Yes, but I would say it's a band-aid on it because okay, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We both live pretty good lives, I would say. You know,
Absolutely.
we're happy. We have vehicles. We don't have to like wait for the bus or not that there's anything wrong with taking the bus, but I'm saying we're lucky enough to have money in our lives. You know,
Yes.
we have our own dwellings. We have a roof over our head. We have vehicles and everything. It's just, but a lot of people are living.
Hmm.
A lot of millennials are living paycheck to paycheck because they didn't realize at the time what they were getting into. And my argument is this because okay, I understand like yeah, you signed it at like when you were like 17, 18 years old. Yeah, I
Right.
get that. But when you're in that time period and especially millennials from our generation,
Hmm.
every authority figure was telling you you have to go to college, you have to go to college, you have to go here, you
Hmm.
have to get an education, you're going to fail without it, don't worry about the loans, you're going to get a job afterwards, it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I mean, you had parents, family members, teachers, like
Right.
guidance counselors, everyone was saying the same thing. So when you're that age, like, and especially when social media and like the internet wasn't a huge thing where we couldn't go on and research and take it upon ourselves to like look at this stuff.
Hmm.
I feel like your only choice at the time was to
Right.
listen to all these people you trusted and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do it." You didn't think down the road because that's another thing. And we talked about this in our college episode. People are telling you
Yes.
you're coming out of college, whatever you take, you're going to be making six figures, you're going to be doing this, you're going to be fine, don't worry, you'll have that paid off in 5 years. I mean, that's what people told me,
Hmm.
and it turned out I'm still paying it down the line like a decade later.
Right.
I so where I was going with this is that I would say it's like a predatory thing that
No,
they
absolutely.
give you these loans and then it's like, "Oh yeah, you're stuck with them for the next 20 years of your life." And that's
Absolutely.
just how it is. But you don't realize that when you're a kid and you don't think about it. So, I think that this helps. It's I mean it certainly helps me. It's going to cut my payback by like, I don't know, like 10 years or something like that. No, probably less than that, but like bottom line is I'm going to have like 2 years left to pay on my federal loans.
Okay.
If I keep paying like the amount that's going to come back in 2023. But
Right.
I do understand the frustration. I do understand people being pissed off that hey,
Hmm.
I paid this, don't I get anything? But I mean, at the same time, it's like I don't know. We give people money like we give like WIC, like that's the thing. It's like oh, well we give it to this woman who's a single mom. Well, she chose to be single, like she chose to do that. But in reality, like there's other factors that go into it. So taxes help with things like that.
Oh my God!
And
You're comparing your student loans to WIC.
I'm not.
This is unbelievable.
I'm
This
trying.
is an outrage. This is an
Okay.
outrage.
Okay. No. No.
I understand. I
Maybe
understand what you're saying. I get it. I
maybe
get
an extreme comparison. But what I'm saying is taxes are there to help people out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. I, this Ice. I don't know what you've turned into. Yes. The taxes should be used for something. I agree
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
100%. Let's do something with them, and I get what you're saying because we are from an area where infrastructure is poor
Yeah.
and there's very limited resources to pull from. Meanwhile, you're still paying taxes on them, and I get that. the kickback of $300 billion is a hard pill to swallow. But let me just throw some facts at you real quick.
Okay.
But I'm with you on board. I'm on board with this. I mean, well, I'm not on board with use the word deserve behind the scenes.
I was being facetious, but I deserve this. I deserve this money.
So 37% of Americans have a 4-year college degree. So 37% of Americans, only 37% of Americans. 13% of Americans of that percentage have graduate degrees. A full 56% student loan debt is held by people who went to grad school. So you're taking money from the truck driver to pay the grad school graduate. This is from Greg Price, by the way. Greg Price is at the Daily Wire. So this is the biggest problem, like you said, is that it's the predatory loans. So the thing is, the problem with this is it's absolutely 100% a Band-Aid. You're going to get back to the amount that is owed within no time, several years, couple years, maybe even less than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Matt Walsh, there's no such thing as student loan forgiveness. There's only student loan transferal, where the debt is transferred from the person who took out the loan to someone else who did not take out the loan. Of course, and you just mentioned it, if I paid my loans, what do I get in as a kickback? The other thing, too, if you wanted free college, ICE, I'm wondering, what happened to that Army brochure that they gave you at the
Oh my God, I'm not going to freaking join the Army.
Career fair. I mean, college is already free, bro. You could have signed up.
Yeah, but no one was telling me to do that. Everyone just said go to college, go to college. That's what I'm saying. And that for 90% of the people that went to college, they probably all thought the same thing. No one really thought ahead, because you're an 18-year-old kid. You're a dumbass at that point. That's just what I'm saying.
It's the truth.
And okay, did this need to happen? Probably not. Will it get people to spend more money into the economy? Yes, but like you said in your article, that money's gonna come back. And really quick about the taxes thing, they're gonna go to something anyway. So like I understand you're like, okay, well this is going here, but like I feel like in the long run it would help get people back to actually get millennials, our generation, to actually start spending money again.
Yeah, I agree with you, because we and you hate to be like this. You hate to be whiny about it.
No, you're right. You're right. Absolutely.
Changing economy, damaging economic times. You have these guys that became a VP when they were 22 years old. Mm-hmm. You have people that bought houses when mortgage payments were different. You've had rising costs, but in reality, salaries haven't risen all that much. We're in an era where you still have a huge workforce of our parents and the generation a little bit before and after. But it's kind of tough out there. You come out with a 4-year degree from a college that is gouging you money. You have a predatory loan. You're then expected to get a job where they're paying you $40,000 a year, and then on top of that, buy a house. On top of that, buy a vehicle. The whole cycle is I have to take out a loan to get the degree, to get the job, in order to pay the loan back, in order to get the car, in order to get the house. And what money could you possibly have when you're making the salary you're making? Now, I understand that the critique of that is don't go to college, be a plumber. But you also said, totally different time, you're being fed, go to school, that kind of thing. Greg Price on Twitter also makes another really good point. This is he's paraphrasing Will Chamberlain. Let's cancel student debt by seizing the non-taxable endowments of colleges and making them pay for it instead of taxpayers, which makes sense.
Okay.
Going back to the tax thing, I'm going to say it. I'm going to be honest. I'd rather see it go to American workers and the American workforce than Ukraine. You know what I mean? In reality, we sent them billions already, and they want more.
No, I also agree with that. I mean, that's just another one of those things. I mean, that gets super complicated. But yeah, we should. This all goes back to, we should just be helping people at home, like the work. I mean, we're part of the workforce, but like the money shouldn't be going to all these other places. Like we have to take care of our own first, because there's clearly an issue. I mean, like you have all these people, like I said, in a huge amount of debt, and this whole aspect of college, like it's just not sustainable. It's getting more and more expensive, and like Gen Z is like totally screwed. By the time they go to college, it's going to be like double what we paid, and then I don't even know. There's people from our generation that are graduating with 6-figure loans. I can't even imagine what people in 10 years are going to be graduating with.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. It really is. The whole thing, there's so many nuances, like you said before. It's one of those things that's tough. It's complicated. And overall, will I take the cash? Yes. Now, let me ask you this. Do I get a check or does it go to something?
Okay, so the way that I think it's going to play out, and I don't know this, but like when they cancel when they canceled the repayment, you remember that? It was just like suddenly, suddenly you just weren't getting bills. Like it was just all automatic. Right. Like it just happened happened BTS behind the scenes. I think it's going to be like that. You're just going to open up your friggin' repayment app or like the website one day, and like you're just going to see $10,000 less. I think that's probably what's going to happen. Hopefully, I hope it's not some big like rigmarole. You have to throw a form in, and it's going to take like 5 years from the process and all that stuff. I mean, like, because I could see something like that happening, but
no, I'm with you. I know. And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you still make the payments now that the payments are in freeze?
No, and the reason that I think I did like at the beginning, but the reason that
me too.
Yeah, the reason I did that is because there were always rumors that this was coming.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, I'm just going to be throwing money away. I had the privilege to do that, unlike other people who paid their student loans prior to me. But I was like, okay, if this is coming, then I'm just handing them money then. But now that I still have a little bit left, I'm probably going to make as much as I can to pay on the principal before they start the repayments in January.
Yeah.
And, just kind of chop it down as much as I can. So, like, I get where everyone is coming from. And I probably just have this position because I'm very biased because it's helping me out a lot. It's literally just helping me get ahead way faster than I would if I still had these loans. That's...
All right, everybody, nice work. We helped Ice get ahead.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone.
It's unbelievable. Make sure you thank every single poor grandmother out there that is still paying taxes, so you can work from home. you sicko!
Oh my
God. I mean, I'll take it. I'm not complaining about it.
Exactly.
I'm the same way. It's once they pause the student loan, I'm like, well, why would I pay it? What am I going to pay it for?
Yeah,
they'll get their money when they're ready. If they can exist for going on almost 2.5 years without payments, go for it. Then who cares? But once again, it's predatory. It's a rat race. Not to mention all the other programs that we have. They're just going to totally be broke by the time we get out and have a chance to use them.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, we're getting the shit end of the stick because probably by the time we retire, Social Security isn't going to be there. So like. Getting this a little bit, and I think America has a lot more money than we think. Like 300 billion might seem like a lot, but we give the military like 800 billion every single year. It's like we certainly have the money. I know there's a lot of debt spending and whatever, but like I said, there's so many nuances to this thing.
Yeah, there are.
And again, I'm 100% being, so I know people are gonna flame me in the comments, but I'm 100% certain of my bias in this because I'm benefiting from it. But at the same time, something at the root level of this needs to be done because kids of the future are going to be screwed and it's going to be bad. And I feel like college, because when we went, college education it's just like, it's whatever, everyone has one now. I think it's going to become a less normal thing as we go on, 10, 20 years down the road, because no one's going to be able to afford it. Yeah,
it has to be. It has to. If you want any chance at a society that's sustainable, you have to get away from the classroom, and there's just no way you can do it. And and I totally get what you're saying. I'm glad you're benefiting from it. I am too. I'm not going to be. Now let me ask you this.
Yeah. Okay.
Is
really getting grilled over here.
Is this going to change how you may have voted without this occurring?
No, absolutely. Okay. But I don't think any Republican would have done this. Actually, no, I could confidently say that probably would never happen. But at the same time, it's not going to change the way that I look at this, because first of all, I don't think Biden came up with this himself. I think his aides told him, "Hey, this has to happen." And
Yeah.
and I mean, there's no, like we all see what's happening. They're obviously trying to get voters with this, 100%.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
I mean,
I think it's going to be very polarizing. I think you're going to have a lot
Yeah.
more dissidents than you have fans. It's a lose-lose draw because what do? You have Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren want you to cancel every single possible cent of student debt. I think AOC too.
Yeah,
and that's just how it goes.
It's like $4 trillion, isn't it? Like now that'd be quite a bit. That'd be a lot.
I wonder what would happen if they canceled it. Like they just got rid of it. What would happen? Where does it go? What would happen?
I don't see. That's another thing. Like, what are the implications? Like, what would the implications be if you went like all out and just said, you know what, everyone who has federal loans, like it's over. Don't even worry about it. We're taking care of it. What would happen? I mean, it's a $4 trillion hole. I don't know. I don't know what would happen.
Yeah, I don't know either. It'll be interesting. I'm just wondering, what the economic impacts are, because obviously debt is owned, and debt is a good thing if you're in business. Like you want other people's debt. You want other people so. I wonder how this kind of works out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we're gonna see. I do know that your dear President Biden said no one's gonna be paying any more in federal taxes this year. So that's this year. So yeah, it's kind of loaded. So who knows what we're gonna see? And I'll tell you what, with everything with inflation and everything going on too. I mean, like there's no doubt that this has helped a lot of people, 100%. But the thing is it going to the people who need it the most, and is it going to impact everyone down the line?
I hope so. I sure hope so. Somebody told me yesterday or the other day that inflation is going down, that gas is evening out, that milk and bread are going down. I really haven't. To be honest with you, you want to talk about my privilege? I don't even look at a price when I buy something. Isn't that terrible?
Yeah, no, I really don't either, but I have noticed.
Yeah, I've noticed that more, right?
Yeah, I've definitely like gas. I'm just like, well, whatever. I have to fucking pay it, so like it is what it is. But I have noticed at the grocery store, because I do frequent the grocery store quite a bit, and things are definitely way more expensive. I'll never forget. There's this one package of bacon that was $4.99 forever, as long as I could remember, and now it's $8.99. So.
What was that, Smithfield Black Label?
I don't know. It might be the
exact brand.
it might be a local brand, so I don't want to get into it. I don't want to dox ourselves.
I gotcha, yeah.
Let me see. Maybe it's not a local brand.
I've heard good things about the Smithfield
it is.
the Hormel Black Label, but there's some one of them has Smithfield or Hormel or Oscar Mayer has a Black Label version.
I never heard of that.
It's very good.
That's interesting.
I saw it via a meme, I think, or something. It was the Black Label bacon. But I did find out that real bacon is supposed to be better for you overall than turkey bacon.
Yeah, and I noticed that you're talking about like real, like actual, like not processed or whatever.
Yeah.
I've heard that too. And actually, bacon, like a slice of bacon, isn't it isn't even like that terrible for you. One slice cooked is 40 calories.
Huh. I was never a big bacon fan to begin with.
Really?
No, I never was a big. I never understood because it's basically trash that they would just throw out, and they're selling it to you, and they're making you be obsessed with it via T-shirts and bumper stickers and bacon mints and everything else.
Oh my god! That was sort of like how great bacon is, and like I'm addicted to bacon. Like that was a weird push that was going on in the 2000s. Yeah,
that was a weird push. Like a bacon board game, I think they had at one point.
I don't know. That stuff always pissed me off. I do enjoy it. I'm not like a weirdo who's like, oh, bacon, I need my bacon. But
yeah,
I do enjoy it. A nice bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. Oh my god, get out of here!
Can't argue with that. Yeah. I'm signing me up for that too. I'm in.
Yeah, that really hits the spot. But yeah, no. Other than that, I'm not all about it. Outside of breakfast, like that's it.
Yeah, they have the bacon burger, everything bacon on pizza.
Yeah, Baconator.
Like
yeah, no, that's.
Oh yeah, the Baconator. Yeah, I forgot about that. Huh.
Yeah. So
anything else anything else you need to drive this home so we know exactly where you stand, what you're doing?
Okay.
I mean, because I agree with you in every aspect. I do. I actually really I agree with it.
But you don't have to. I understand what my idea is very polarizing.
No,
Okay.
I totally get it, and I agree with it. I do agree with it. I just don't think it's a good idea. You know?
Yeah, I'm saying, okay. Flat out, here's what I think. I am biased for this because it benefits me. Yes. Does it help me a lot? Yes. Do people who are in student debt need assistance? Yes, because we are creating a generation of people who are hamstrung and they can't participate in the economy because they're paying off their student loans forever. They're by the time they're 50 years old, then they could start saving up to buy a house. Like then they could start saving up to buy like a nice car or whatever. And I know that's like, oh, well, that's just for like rich people or whatever. Like oh, what was you can't buy this big house that you want. But like what I'm saying is I feel like the repercussions of this are going to be felt within the economy because less people are going to be putting money into it. Once the boomers die off and the generational wealth is gone, like I don't know what's going to happen.
No, I agree with you. And that's funny because like you see like these places like these houses that are like these mansions and like in the area that we grew up in and the areas that we visit and the areas that we're at. It's like who the hell is ever going to afford this from our generation where we're from? And it's not.
We're just not. Like that's something that you drive by the houses and you see them when you're growing up and you're like, oh, I want that when I'm older. But it can't happen. You can't if you're going to college and you have student debt, it's never going to happen.
Perhaps the American dream has been resurrected.
Yeah, I think, but it can't happen until student like the colleges are held accountable for this. Here, you know what? Let me say this. Right. I would rather. And I would take the sacrifice for my American brothers and sisters out there. I would rather them reduce the cost of college by a lot and help people in the newer generations than take the 10K. That's my stance right there. I would rather something be done about this ridiculous system that we have where everyone's just going to be living paycheck to paycheck forever if you go to college. Then get the 10K. I think bottom line is something has to be done about this because you might not see it now, but it's going to happen. Colleges are going up, the prices are going up, and you could go to a community college, but if you want to be something that like that takes a 4-year degree, you could only go there for like 2 years, and then you have to go to a private college. Mm-hmm. So, I agree. Something has to be done.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
that's the biggest problem. That's really the biggest problem. It's predatory. It's borderline criminal at the heaviest. But I'm still thinking about the fact that he almost vomited at the thought of joining the army.
No, okay. You know what? No, hear me out. If I knew
that's
how
a great soundbite.
That is a great.
I'm gonna join the army. that's definitely what it was.
Oh, I'm gonna have to clip that. Well, yeah, I mean, hey, if I knew it was going to be like that and they would pay for my education, then maybe I would have joined. Maybe I would have went for 4 years. But again, it's not what people were driving, and it's not what people were telling you. And these adults, these authority figures, they have to step up to and say and tell them the reality of what's going to happen if you go into college and take on all this debt. I think that's a big thing. I think these people have to tell kids what they're actually getting into rather than, oh, you have to go to college, just sign here, you'll figure it out later, you'll be fine. Because it's not true.
Yeah, it's not. And I don't know if it was like this in your high school, but I remember like being at my high school, it was unfortunately like almost like a negative thing to join like the military. Or it was like a negative thing if you were like, you went to like the technical programs they had, like it was the half day.
Yeah. No, it was like,
totally looked down upon by everybody, teachers, administrators, students, everything.
Everyone, and those people are probably more wealthy. A lot of them I know are probably more wealthy than us because they don't have the loans. They weren't hamstrung. They were able to just go out. I like using that word. It's true. You're hamstrung.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I know it sounds like I'm whining and stuff, but I'm just something has to be done. Something has to be done.
Well, we started doing something here. We're making it happen, breaking this very complex issue down as best we can.
Oh yeah.
I give the 10K a rating out of your Ice Cube system.
The 10K it's a 9 out of 10, I would say.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Daft Punk was an 8. Wasn't Daft Punk an 8?
I'm just saying, this is different. This is different.
Government whore.
Oh my God.
You're such a slut for the government. I can't stand it.
Oh my God.
Tweets at POTUS. You up? Just a dick pic. Unbelievable. Have some decency for
Oh my
God's
God. Come on, give me a break.
No, I get it. I'll take it too. I'm all about it.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so funny. Oh.
Well, I'm glad you're getting something.
Yeah, so thank you to everyone for the money. Thank you to grandmas out there. I really
like
appreciate it.
When you get that card at Christmas and it's like it has cash in it and you're trying to ignore the cash and read the card, like that's like kind of
yeah.
Just go to somebody's grandmother's house, break in, steal their money, and this is the same exact thing.
Same. This is literally the same thing.
Highway robbery. The armed IRS agents.
I didn't do it. Biden said it, so my hands are tied. I can't tell him no. So I mean, it's gonna happen.
That's the truth. Next thing you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sign up for that IRS task force.
I think I'm gonna join the agents.
Oh, $15 for lunch on Venmo.
I don't know, Dix. I'm watching you.
Well.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, hey, I'm excited for the next episode. I think we got a lot done today. I think we had a lot of fun, and we'll meet the Moonlight in the next episode, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys there.
Peace.